Going over to the political part podcast, you have Elon on Chuck Schumer pushing illegal immigration, which isn't too much news, but it is moderately interesting. I say it's not too much news because this is kind of what there's been a debate. There's a lot of key topics that the Republicans and Democrats have debated throughout decades. And a pessimist in me can't help but think, well, these hot topics, traditionally being guns, abortion, border. I mean, those topics we've talked about for, 40, 50 plus years? And usually every couple of years, the left will win a little bit, the right will win a little bit. And my theory is they just both use it to raise campaign funds on both sides of the aisle, which is why you never really see much things get done. But nevertheless, Elon said on, of course, X, quote, "The goal of citizenship for all illegals is very clearly stated by the leader of the Senate. For some reason, a lot of people think this is a crazy conspiracy theory." Now, granted, one of my favorite quotes is, "Yesterday's conspiracy theory is today's reality." Looks like this was first reported by Wall Street Silver. And the only thing good about Chuck Schumer is he does have a modicum of fashion sense. He did, as all men should, suit up. And fascinatingly enough, he does have an American flag lapel pin. Now, that's very rare in politics because these days, most politicians seem to care about countries that are on the opposite side of the globe that most Americans can't point to on a map, for being frank. So it's very rare. He actually does have an American flag on his lapel pin. And he did suit up. So while I might find him mentally vacuous and his policies mentally vacuous or evil, well, he did do something right. Now, it's only about 27 seconds long, so without too much further ado.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Thereby incentivizing illegal negative behavior to ensure that it'll happen even with greater frequency. Which, again, we're trying to remember the first time I started to think about politics when I was a kid. I remember Bush versus Gore was a hot topic in 6th grade with a lot of people yelling the presidential names, which were just parenting their parents. Hilariously enough, I think during recess, we lined up, divided by the political campaign, and I would always just yell, "Who cares?" Because, again, you're in 6th grade. I mean, they're not going to, if they tax your milk at an extra 3 cents per carton, your parents are probably going to pay for it. It's not going to affect you too much. So, at the time, who knew how bad inflation would get? Back in my day, a stick of Starburst, like the actual gas station stick of Starburst, with tax was 75 cents. I distinctly remember this because when I buy it with $1, that hard-earned dollar, I get a physical quarter back. And nowadays, when I go to the checkout aisle, I think Starburst is like over $2 for a stick, which is ridiculous. But a little economic anecdotal evidence aside, it's going to go pretty viral. Got 33.3 million views and 300,000 likes. And it is, again, fascinating. So many people think it's a conspiracy theory. When, again, we see it time and time again. And fascinatingly enough, we'll see how big the disclaimer is on when I post this on YouTube in terms of, they put a fact check, whatever that is. I mean, straight from the donkey's mouth. Chuck Schumer is saying it right here. They're going to, quote, unquote, forgive him, give him a path to citizenship. While you have people on the opposite side of the globe struggling to get their immigration forms actually approved and struggling to become American citizens because they're doing it the right way. Which, again, we should streamline that process so we can filter, invest the best prospective candidates to become citizens. Again, some of the best businesses are actually started by people who came here legally, with Elon Musk probably being one of the best examples in history. Now, going down the comments, one of the first comments comes from Nick Sorter saying, "They can't stand the fact that you're shining a light on this and calling them out. They were hoping to slip this through without a fuss. Not going to happen." I got 7.3 thousand likes. Elon responded saying, "I'm just pointing out what they're saying and the general and practical realities of an open southern border so that the general public is aware of this." And I got 10,000 likes. Well, fascinatingly enough, we did get a contrarian statement finally. We knew they were looking around here somewhere. This comes most thanks to our favorite leftist, Luke Zaleski, who, granted, not really a favorite of his opinions, but he is very much a leftist, and we appreciate, one of those things where echo chambers can get pretty boring. Luke Zaleski, kind of a little background of this guy, he has a profile picture where he's wearing a V-neck, which, that's like an F- for fashion. That's a V-neck on a man, I would think, is only appropriate, perhaps, maybe after 8 or 9 years of marriage, and you're having a date at home where the public won't see you. As we all know, true men always suit up, obviously. Luke Zaleski also has a highlight of his career where he pins it on his profile on X Twitter, where he writes an article in GQ about how young boys should not be allowed to play football. Now, perhaps that's because Luke couldn't catch a football to save his life, but that also shows you what he is as well. Now, Luke says, this is awkward. Elon, what's an illegal? And it looks like there's a clip from Kraken Cry. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's about 20 seconds, so why not? We'll see what he has to say.
They obviously do not realize we're sleeping in the office.
In fact, when they did fund us, they realized that we were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
Yes, we were.
I'd say it was a gray area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants. We were sleeping in the office. We didn't have a car. We had one car, but the wheel kept falling off.
But, well, actually, yeah. But they obviously.
So, did he later become an illegal immigrant? I assume so, but let me know in the comments. Maybe that's a big controversy. Now, that did get 525 likes. Now, was he ratioed? Maybe. Let's see. Let's see here. So, Ursa Soul says, great area, LOL. Ursa Soul says, so are you saying that you currently don't have information enough to know whether Elon Musk is an illegal immigrant or not? And Grok, which is the AI built into X Twitter, says, quote, based on the information available, there is conflicting evidence regarding Elon Musk's immigration status in the United States. Some sources suggest that he entered and remained in the U.S. legally through various visa programs, while other sources claim he and his brother were in the U.S. illegally at some point. Given this discrepancy, it's challenging to definitively determine Elon Musk's immigration status based on the current data, unquote. Getting 5 likes. Now, he also paid more taxes than anyone has in history, which, to me, that's probably a big flag in terms of, are you considered here to be legal or not, or if you're a citizen or not. That'd be quite hilarious if this is actually, I mean, it's not, but what if that's the next conspiracy theory, that Elon is technically an illegal immigrant or something like that? Leave in the comments, have you ever heard that before? Let's see, we also have, going back to major comments. Going down more and more, outline, oh, what is this? Molly says, whistleblower tells Congress that government is delivering migrant children to human traffickers. They got 2.8 thousand likes. That is a screenshot from an article by Adam Shaw over at Fox News. Sandy says, it's illegal, and those who do, front of the line for deportation. Got 3.6 thousand likes. Sarah Smith says, we see through you, Chuck. And it says, it's really simple. If Americans won't vote Democrat, then I will import people who will, getting 1.7 thousand likes. Gnosis Wolf says, think, military-age illegals let in by Biden now outnumber our military by 6-1. They got 1.5 thousand likes, which some would say is quite concerning. We'll see if it is. Time shall tell. That got, again, 1.5 thousand likes. Trump Army says, looks like, about 12 seconds. Might as well just play that clip. And truth be told, his voice is infinitely better than mine. So there's a little clip from Trump from RSBN News. And apparently this is from a Trump rally in Iowa from January 15th over the caucus.
Remember, as soon as I take the oath of office, I'll terminate every open border policy of the Biden administration and begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
I got 5.4 thousand likes, which, yeah, the thing is, you're going to need a vast amount of resources. Now, legally and morally, yes, you obviously should deport people who are breaking the law, and they are actively taking away jobs opportunities from American citizens. There are many reasons why you do need, also national security. We have no idea who's crossing the border. And again, one of the biggest detriments to modern society in America is all the fentanyl deaths as well, which is coming from Mexico. Raw ingredients manufactured in China, shipped to Mexico, manufactured there, then crossed over the border. Probably one of the easiest jobs on the planet. And yeah, you have, 100,000 people dying every year because of fentanyl overdoses? So yeah, the only issue is with this idea, and again, I think it's morally the right thing to do, you're going to need a lot of resources to do this. First of all, if you had American soldiers actually in America defending our country, that would help out a lot. I mean, they are, again, I highly respect everyone who's serving our country. I just question the politicians who are making the calls on where to allocate those resources globally. Now, that being said, if we needed American soldiers at the U.S. border, that would be a great way to bolster our national security, as well as start the deportation process. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Trump actually articulates like the 5 steps to actually do this, or how he would get this done. Because again, you're going to need a vast amount of resources, not just technologically wise, but also people, boots on the ground, so to say. And maybe this is the nail. Maybe this is a moment that causes people to vote for Trump. Again, it's one of the top topics that people are talking about. I think certainly the top 10 when it comes to what are voters looking for in terms of most effective policies to fix things going forward in the upcoming election. Now, going back to the comments, you also have Bill Elmore saying they'll do anything to stay in power. There's a graph that says illegal immigration to the U.S. And simply put, after Biden came in the office, it exploded. Was it 2 or 3x or more than that? And unfortunately, I apologize. Let's see if I pulled up my laptop here. Trying to see the actual nomenclature or the reference point on the graph. Okay, says Customs and Borders Protection. Figures combine single adults and family, and the big arrow shows Trump leaving office, and that's the big data point where you see the exponential increase in illegals coming into the United States. Now that did get 2,000 likes. Terrence Simpson says Schumer and all other members of Congress who purposely allowing our country to be invaded by illegals are not only violating their own oaths of office, they are committing treason. They need to be expelled from Congress and tried for treason, period, unquote. And 1,000 likes. Now, ironically or hilariously, although I guess dark humor is sad, I mean, in terms of moves on the political chessboard, there are a lot of people who believe in open borders. There are a lot of Democrats who are going to re-elect Chuck Schumer, and there are people who might vote for him just because of these policies. I mean, not just illegals voting for him. I know there are Americans who think, well, if you just get here, you should be able to, get everything for free. I mean, there are quite literally hundreds of millions of people who do believe that. How many will show up in this election? That's the real question. Robbie Starbuck says, all because Democrats want power, which they can only maintain by getting illegal votes for them in the future. They got 3.7 thousand likes. Let's see here. Do 1 or 2 more. Mark says, it says illegal immigrants are performing tasks true Americans will not do, voting for liberals. Getting 1,000 likes. I'll do one more. Matthew Marston said, and yet my son has to wait 4 years to come here legally. The system is broken. Uncle gave him 1,000 likes. Which, yeah, the system definitely needs an overhaul. I recently interviewed a Afghanistan translator who worked with the U.S. Special Forces, obviously in Afghanistan, and is one of those issues where it took him years to become a U.S. citizen. Just to get a visa. Again, he helped translate for U.S. Special Forces, and because he performed that service to the U.S., his life and his family were obviously in danger because of the Taliban. And the fact that he had to call in those soldiers, and they had to call in favors to, I forget the exact nomenclature of the politician level, to actually get the paperwork pushed through, is ridiculous to say the least. So, I mean, 110% I agree that the system needs to be overhauled when it comes to immigration processes. And it'll be interesting to see, who actually proposes some ideas to do that. And at the end of the day, how's it executed? But let me know, are you surprised that Chuck Schumer is saying the quiet part out loud? Now, in terms of their plans for these quote-unquote dreamers, do you think they'll just immediately say, oh yeah, just be here and pay taxes for a year and you could vote in every election? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.